Hi folks, welcome to another Chief Steamer video in our continuing series on the 155 machine. This video is probably going to be one of the most important videos to watch before you make your decision on which Chief Steamer to buy. Again, I realize that 240 volt is a taboo thing for a lot of guys because you just don't understand 240. Most people discount 240 voltage right away. But the trade-off is the power that you're going to get out of the machine is much, much better than any 120 volt machine out there. And if you can't afford a diesel machine or a diesel machine is too big, the trade-off is going to a 240 volt electric machine. So if you've been thinking about it, but you're really kind of disregarding the 240 because of the electrical requirements and the fact that you don't know too much about 240 volt, this video is going to be important because I want to clarify a couple of things. Now, I've done a few other videos on electrifying the 240, hooking it up by direct wire to your power source inside your shop, or we've gone over the wiring on the 240. But I realize that most guys are going to be mobile. Now, we're doing this video today in my shop. I think it's about 15 degrees outside. You can probably see the breath coming out of my mouth. I have the heat on, but we just can't get the shop warm. It's 15 degrees. The wind chill is like -5. So if you're doing anything outside, you already realize that there's no pressurized water. There's no water coming out of a garden hose. Any water that hits the car or the ground is going to freeze. So you've come to the realization that you need a steamer to do this. That's the no-brainer part. The decision you have to make is which machine to buy. Now, if you're thinking about the 125 machine, which is 120 volt, that's great. We've sold a ton of them. You've bought a ton of them. 120 volt is going to give you good power, but there's going to be a break-off point. Once we get to this kind of winter where cars are really, really dirty, really, really salty, and we're going to be cleaning this Explorer in another video in a little while. It's not extremely dirty, but it's salt. It's winter in New Jersey. We haven't had a ton of snow, but it's cold. And you don't want to be out there if you don't need to be. So let's start with the electric part of the video. I realize that most guys are going to be mobile. So if you're in a shop, wiring 240 is not that big of a deal. So what happens when you buy your machine? I've said this before. Here's your power cord. So our power cord is going to have 3 wires. Your green and yellow, this is your ground. The brown and the blue are going to be phase or power. So each leg of this is 120 volts, and together they're going to make 240. So that's a 3-wire system. Now, previously in other videos, I've explained this type of plug to go with this wire. If you're doing a 3-wire system, we have a ground and 2 phase wires, which equals your 240. This is the easy way to do it. Now, what gets confusing is when guys want to use a generator. So here we go. Most generators, and here's the drawing that I did. This is the outlet that's going to be common on most bigger generators. Any generator that provides 4, 5, 6,000 watts or more is probably already going to be set up for 240 volts, and most likely will have this exact outlet on the generator. Now, the problem is, and the confusion comes in, is look at the outlet. So here's our outlet. We have, let's set it up the way I drew it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 receptacles there. So this is the confusing part. We have 3 wires on our power cord, but we have 4 of these. This is where everybody just gets so confused that they figure there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And some of the machines that I've already sold in 240, that's been the exact issue. So I want to clear that up. Let's start by describing exactly what this is. So here's our outlet. There's our outlet. There's my blow-up drawing. This is the package that it came in when I bought it at Home Depot. So it's 30 amps, which is more than enough to power the steamer. It's made by Leviton, which is a very common outlet and plug brand that you can buy in most big box stores. 30 amps, more than enough to power the steamer. Now, 125/250 volts means that it's going to power both 120 and 250, or I'm calling it 240. It'll go up to 250 volts. 3P means 3-pole, 4-wire setup. This is the way the outlet is going to look on the generator. Now, NEMA is the specification. This is an L14-30R. The R means receptacle. So that's our receptacle. That's going to be on your generator. So the way we need to wire this, and we don't want to be too, I don't want to get too technical, but I have to get a little bit technical, so stay with me here. We're always going to have a ground. So here's our ground. This is our ground. And this is our ground. So that's going to go to your ground on your plug, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, the X, the Y, and the W. I know you have no idea what that means. We need two phases. We need two legs, each 120 volts to make up the 240. So the X and the Y, which have the exact same configuration here, this is 120 volt, that's 120 volt. Now here's where it gets confusing. What's this extra one for? Why do we have 4 and my power cord only has 3? When you have an appliance in your house, say an electric oven at 240 volts, or you're running your, a lot of homes will use their dryer at 240 volts, your display panel, which gives you your readout and your controls, that needs to be at 120 volts. So here's where this comes into play. This W is what's called neutral. So when you wire this up, and your dryer or your stove would come with a 4-wire power cord. Here on our steamer, we don't need a 4-wire power cord because there's no display board to run on the steamer. So we're only using the ground wire and the 2 hot legs, so therefore only 3 wires. If you were running at home, if you were running your dryer or your oven and you have your display panel, that needs to run on 120 volts. So therefore this W needs to be set up and wired to your 4-wire power cord. Let's take a look at this power cord. Now, when you wire this power cord, now this is our power cord the way I bought it in Home Depot. So same thing, Leviton brand, 30 amps, 125, 250 volt. That's going to be the male, so it looks pretty much exactly the same, a 3P4W. Still a NEMA, L14-30P, and the P means plug, where here the R means receptacle. So that's female, this is male, this is male, this is female. Let me take this apart for you and show you the back side of this. So when we pull this apart, here's the back side. So now, if you look here, and Brian will be able to get close up here. So here's our green. So your green nut is always your ground. Green nut's always the ground, and that matches the right angle right here on our diagram. So green is ground. Always remember green is ground, and it's labeled G right there for green. We come back to the front view. The 2 opposite facing poles are going to be your X and your Y. So if we flip this over, there's our X and there's our Y right opposite each other. This pole and this pole. And then your extra is your W, which is what we call in the neutral, which would hook up if you had something that needed 120 volts. The steamer does not need 120 volts. This is going to be empty. So now when we wire this, here's our power cord. Our yellow and green stripe is going to go to ground. So that's going to go to ground. And then one side is going to go to your X. The other side is going to go to your Y. That's all we need. This stays empty. So the W here on your outlet, that's going to stay empty. So 3 out of the 4 get connected. That stays empty. So on your generator, when we go to plug this in, when this is all put together, all we have to do, we're already wired. We're just plugging it in. So your power cord wire for your steamer comes off there, and this is your generator. So it plugs in, and it will power up the machine. And if we just figure this out and look at it the way I just explained it, it's extremely easy to wire up your steamer and make it work with a generator. Now, customer the other day that just bought a 155 steamer, he posed this question to me. He hooked his steamer up originally in his shop with a setup like this, with just the 3 prongs. So he had a 3-prong plug. He put the 3-prong plug on the end of his power cord, and he had a 3-prong outlet on the wall. He called me up and he said, Kev, I want to be able to take my machine mobile. What do I do? My generator has something like this, but inside my shop, I only have 3. I said, well, then what you want to do is you want to swap over. You want to get rid of this setup and you just want to go with this setup. So we can still wire this inside our shop. All you have to do is buy this outlet. You buy this outlet, you mount it to the box on your wall, and then inside your shop, you're always using this setup. But then when you want to take it out and run it on your generator, your power cord is already set up with this plug, and then just take it out, and then when you're ready to go, you plug it into your generator. So that's the easy way to do it. Now, the other way to do it inside your shop is just to hardwire it the way I hardwire the 155 steamer that we're going to use in the next video. But hardwiring it is not for most people, because then when you hardwire it, the machine is really not portable anymore. The way to keep the machine portable is to put this type of plug on the end of the power cord, use this type of outlet, and when you know that your generator is equipped with this type of outlet, then your steamer also becomes mobile. Now, if you need an extension cord, here's an easy way to make an extension cord. All we're doing is just buying an extra outlet, and we're buying an extra plug. So if you need to make an extension cord, you're going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you're going to buy number 10 wire, three number 10 wire. That's the thickness of the wire, is number 10. That's the thickness of the copper. Buy it, they'll cut it for you in any length you want. You want a 15-foot extension cord, 25-foot extension cord, 50-foot extension cord, they'll cut the wire. You're making your own extension cord. On one end of the extension cord, you're going to wire it male. On the other end of your extension cord, you're going to get a female like this. That ends up being your female. And then this becomes your extension cord, male to female on one side, male to female on your other side. That gives you a little extra length if you can't plug your steamer directly into your generator and you need a little bit of extra length. Now, I realize that this video is probably long and a little bit confusing, but if you just rewind to the points that you're a little confused on, I think I explained it really, really well, that it really makes using a 240 volt machine very easy when you come down to it. So if you're undecided on whether to go for 240 volts or stick with 120 volts, hopefully this video helped. Now, I also realized that explaining electric like this and how to wire a 240 volt steamer might help me sell some of my competitors' steamers that they might have been on the fence about buying theirs. Well, so be it. But I wanted to explain this and try and make it as easy as possible. And I hope I did that by showing you the exact things that you'll need to wire up your 155 steamer.